I have it like this so we can see the text and all that stuff. Okay, so welcome to this lesson. This is going to be my first of hopefully several of them. And I'm going to be doing all this stuff in real time so that we can see and we can progress. Okay. Okay, good, good. As long as it's clear and everything can be seen. Okay, standard what you got here. Okay, you got your object window, you got your render window, and you got your cell view. The cell view is your interiors and your world. That is where all your world space and all the interiors of each and every room are here. And then on this side where it says editor ID, this area right here are all the things that are inside of that interior or that room. And see, once I double click on it, let's say I just double clicked on Beantown Brewery, for example. And it's loading, it takes a little bit of time. And you got here your interior, your whole interior of the Beantown Brewery, as you can see here. It's not that big. And you hold the right mouse button. You hold it. Oh wait, no, my bad. It's the middle mouse button. And you can move around. It's the middle mouse button, and you can move around and you can scale by going like this, up or down, and it will scale it closer and closer. And if you hold shift on the keyboard, you can also pan around. You know, yeah, I hope you're getting that, right? You can pan around while holding shift. And then if you hold the if you hold the middle mouse button again, whoops. You hold the middle mouse button and you just keep holding it. And then you can glide the mouse up and down. You can go down or up. Being, if you move it down, you're going to be moving up. If you go up, you're going to be moving down. Pretty basic stuff. You get the hang of it. You know, once you feel comfortable doing all that stuff, you'll be able to move through this with not much of an issue. It takes just a little bit of time to get used to. And then, you know, with the left mouse button, you can click on every individual plane. These are planes of a model. Each and every single one of these are slightly different. And here is a very, very unique trick that you can do. I don't want to mess around with this really, but just to quick show you what you can do with this is you hold. I think it was alternate, right? Yes. Okay. You hold alternate on the keyboard, the alternate button, and then you scroll with the mouse wheel. And what it does, and this is a very useful tip, is that it scrolls through all the models that are in here of the object. Every single individual object is in this object window. So let me go to world objects and let me show you exactly what I mean. So in static, for example, you're going to have this big old tree in this hierarchy. Yes. Okay, good. It's a very good tip. Trust me. It will increase your speed when you're modding, especially when you start copying and making rooms, and you want every single thing to have like a unique look to it. Changing everything around will make everything look a lot more natural. So here, I've gone into the world objects and I went into static, and here you see in the hierarchy all the different actors, architecture, armor, furniture, etc., etc., etc. So wherever you go, you're going to have different things. And what this is doing right here is it's cycling through. I don't know if it's in interiors. Let's just say it's static architecture. It's probably in static architecture. Or you know what? It might actually be here. A good way to find out is to find out by right-clicking on the mesh itself, going into edit, but don't screw with it. Don't mess with it, because what you're doing here is if you mess with this, you change the whole. You kind of, how do I say it? You modify whatever's in the game if you don't make a copy of this, because this is building concrete. It says right there, it has like its own format of text. It's called Building Concrete Big Wall Socket BBot01. Long ugly name. Anyways, endpoint. So if you want to find that, just write it down. Building concrete. And what will happen is this. So I'm going to go back to static. Now put it in the filter. And you're going to get a lot of those. You're going to get a bunch of them. And every single thing it's like it's formatted to that name. They all mean something. It's like, for example, you got the plugs and you got the sockets. This would be the socket. This is a socket right here. And it says right there, socket. So I'm not going to change anything. Well, I already changed it anyways. So hold on a second here. One thing you're going to want to do is put on the rotations. These are right here. I'll explain what these do in a second. Okay, so when you snap to the grid, it's going to be much easier to move around without actually fucking up, like, the positioning of anything. And if you right click and you hold on that, and you're holding on to that mesh, you can rotate it too. And it's rotating it about, I don't know, it looks like maybe 15 degrees or something like that. Okay, so that being a socket, I'll just move this over here so that you can see exactly what I can do with that trick that I just showed you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press Control D, and that will duplicate that. And then I'm going to hold alternate, and I'm going to scroll around. And what exactly am I going to look for? If I'm in socket, I'm just going to keep scrolling, and I'm going to keep scrolling until I find what it is that I'm looking for. Okay, so I went too far. This is a big wall. That's a medium wall. So I'm just going to keep scrolling and scrolling instead of going through the filter and having to type it down all the time. Just going to hold the thing. It's like, oh, right there. There it is. That's exactly what I'm looking for. So now I got the socket and I got the plug right there. And so that I don't have to mess with this or, move it around or anything. I just fit that thing right in there using the snapping tool. So now I got this. Hold shift. Oops. Hold shift. Oh, never mind. It's not shift. It's control. My bad. I was thinking about another program. Now I got that. I got the socket and the plug. And guess what? Control D. And what will happen? Made another copy of it. And now, with that being said, I got two of them. I do it again. Copy it. Now I got four of them. Move it over. Still with the snapping tool on. There you go. You got four. You could do whatever you want with it. You could create your own little funky room. Four of them. Whoops. It's been a while since I used this, so while I get comfortable readjusting to how the creation kit works. I'm just making an explanation of how easy this can be to create small rooms and interiors without having to put that much effort into making a bunch of edits in your mod. So now it's simple, very, very simple thing. And so, okay, so I don't, these walls have way too many doors. So you're saying, okay, what can I do? How can I make this more natural? And, just click on it, highlight it, hit the delete button. And guess what? Once again, hold was it alternate? Yeah, it was alternate. Hold alternate, and again, with the middle mouse button, there you go. Look for the thing that you're looking for. It could be anything. It could be a window. There it is. It could be just a flat wall. There's one right there. Delete that if that's not what you want. And I believe that if you hold one of these right here, Z, X, and C, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see if that's it right there. Yes, Z, X, and C. Remember this. Keep this in your head. Z, I wish I can, like, you know, as a matter of fact, a great idea to do this would be go into Paint. Remember this. Z, X, and C. Whoops. So what do these things do exactly? The Z, you can move your mod, I mean, you can move your model, that mesh, along the Z axis. On X, I guess it is the X axis, and C is Y. So it doesn't get too confusing on the Y axis. That moves it on the Y axis, and that moves it on the X axis. So Z, X, and Y. I believe that's correct. Okay, so I deleted that, and what I want to do is I just want to move this over like this without, whoops. It turns out that this thing is not just a flat wall. I thought it was, but it's not. Okay, just want to make sure that you don't want, this is something you don't want. You don't want those little gaps in your level or in your mod, because then you could see outside of the map and it looks stupid. Okay, so I'm going to move this thing over like this without it interfering with anything else. And once again, make sure that this thing is on point and not, how do I say it? Not leaving any gaps anywhere. I have the feeling that the side that has the gap is probably this side right here. Okay. So, okay, that's just, you know, small tips of how to do that. We don't need to worry about that right now. Are we still on point? Most of the time I just press Control E or something. Okay. What happened? Just give me a moment. Okay, a dungeon raid. It's a Twitch. Okay, so we got people interested here in doing some Unity and some and Blender and other stuff. Let's just get the hang of this for today. Let's do that thing, the suggestion of the dungeon raid or something. Let's just I was just going over the things of how to make a room, simple basic room. It's the same it's the same concept. If you're looking for floors and walls and all that stuff, and what was Control E anyways? I forgot. Control E is nav meshing. Anyways, okay. So if I were to say you know, floor or whatever. So let me get this floor that I just duplicated and move it into position. Oh, okay. I didn't mean to rotate that like that. And one thing to note is that while you're doing that, it's being added to your cell view in this area right here where it says warm light and all that stuff. It's here somewhere. This thing is in here, and you can filter that out. And you double click it and you check what it's called again. IND building shell mid floor only 01. So put FLR only 01. Or on, what was it? Floor only. and you get all these things right here, and those are all the floor meshes that are in that interior. So I'm just putting this in place, and it's very simple. Just control duplicate it again, move it into position, control again, move it into position, and there, now you got a floor. So that's pretty much that's almost done as a room, except that you want to, like, you want to create something here, and make it the way that you want it to. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is, instead of saving it, I'm just going to reload it, also to show you exactly how to do it. When you start up the creation kit, first, you go into your Bethesda account and whatnot. You download it from this thing, from the startup, from the Bethesda starting thing. So creation kit Fallout 4, install it. What you got to do, run the thing, and then the first thing that you do is you go to data, you go to file, data, click on the Fallout ESM, push OK, let it load, let it do its thing. Okay, so now we're starting over without making any changes to the base game, because that's something we don't want. We don't want to change anything from the game when making our mod, or if we have to, try to do it as little as possible, because this is where conflicts begin, especially with other mods. And then other mods change one thing, and then you change another thing, and then it creates this big old fucking mess. So always try to, whenever you're trying to do something, making a mod, try to make duplicates of the things that you plan to use. Always. So let this load. It takes a little while. A dungeon raid. This might take a little longer than expected, but let's just start small. Let's start making a quest. Let's start making an NPC and a quest, and some kind of a fetch thing. Because if we do a dungeon raid, that would require creating locations. First of all, you would have to create a location. You have to take several steps, maybe like 4 major steps, to get that to work. In your quest, you're going to have to create all your NPCs inside of the dungeon, so that when the quest boots, so do all the enemies, like, let's say, the raiders and whatnot, and the objects that need to be spawned, and etc. etc. So that takes quite a bit of a that's quite of a complicated task. Okay. So for whatever reason, it put me back here. Let's go back to the creation kit. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, instead of interiors, because see right here, where you go into your world space, you got your interiors, and then you got the Commonwealth, and then you got your recent cells, which are the ones that you went to when you opened up the creation kit. You got Diamond City. Diamond City has its own. When Northern Springs, when I load up Northern Springs, it has its own. And creating terrain and those kind of world spaces, they're a little bit different. They're different than the interiors. So let's head on into the Commonwealth. And as you can see, because the Commonwealth is rather huge, it takes a while to load every single time. And sometimes this bullshit happens too. The cell view disappears. Okay, so what we're going to do is let's go to Sanctuary EXT. Let's go load up Sanctuary EXT. It can, but with so many different things being changed, you don't know what is changed, what's going to end up causing a conflict, stuff like that. It's a pain in the butt. Okay, so here we are, Sanctuary. Here's Sanctuary Hills. As pretty, how do I say it, dull as it looks without its lighting. How you can change that, because you actually can. So to do that is right here. You got all the things right here for the free camera and perspective and all that stuff. And you can turn on the Skybox, for example. Let me do that. And you can see the weather and all that shit. So to do that, okay, what is that? That's the foliage. Toggle sky. Okay, now there you go. Now you get the you know, the fog effects and all that wonderful stuff. What is this? Force render window weather. And you can change the weather with this one. Okay, as I'm remembering now. If you wanted to, you could put Diamond City weather. They got a bunch of different ones. Clear day. Let's put that. Okay, so now you can see the skybox and it looks more like in the game. And then this little light bulb right here where it says toggle lights, and you get the effects of what the light looks roughly in the game. It's ugly as hell, but you know, it looks much better in game. But it gives you a rough idea of what it looks like. And you can turn on the foliage, which is not really that much of a big deal, especially with all this stuff. And then you got the landscape editing, the landscape editor. Right here, I never use the open filter dialog window. Not once did I ever use that. Nav Mesh Mode is, you know, self-explanatory. We're not going to go into nav meshing right now because that is a really complicated thing on its own. And what the nav meshing does is that it tells the NPCs and, you know, the raiders, the enemies, all that shit, where it can go. And there's also one for the sky, which works for the birds and stuff. Because if you don't like calculate where the birds can fly, they're going to be on the floor, or they're going to be somewhere like really weird. It's not going to look right. So there's all that stuff. Let me see here. Just going through what everything does. You got your world height map editing. You don't need any of that unless you're like importing from 3D Studio Max or whatever. And this is also very important when you're translating things locally or globally. This is, you know, this has to do with matrices. And you got your local and you got your global. What does the global mean? The global is the world. You know, whatever axis is the world is on, it's going to snap to that. It's going to snap to the world. But the local, like the mesh, let's consider a mesh. It has its own axes. So when you're set up to local, the axis of the mesh, wherever that pivot point is at its center, that's what it's going to turn on. So when you're like moving things around, like for example, just move this car around. Covering the basics. Did I grab it? I don't think I grabbed it. I grabbed the wrong thing. Okay, you should be able to see the gizmos. How do you see the gizmos? I forgot. I actually forgot the... There it is. That's it. W. Okay, so you see the gizmo right there. And that's the axis where it turns out. That's on the global axis. I mean, that's on the local. So when I switch it, it's going to switch to the global, and that's it, now it's going to be moving to on that axis. Okay, so on with that, don't matter. This thing right here, the Havoc thing, run Havoc sim. It's like if you throw something that has like how do I say it? Yeah, I would think that the cars do. So I'm going to try move the cars up a little bit. Okay, so like this, I run the Havoc sim, it's going to fall right back down. Okay, that one did it. That one did it. But if I push F, it puts it back on the floor. Well, it didn't totally put it back down on the floor, but it's supposed to. Okay, so turn off the Havoc sim. Let me grab this cart. Now run the Havoc sim, and that one should fall. Okay, so that's pretty much it. And self-explanatory effects, it shows the effects of like fire, etc., etc. If you got fire in your level, you got like winds and water, all those types of effects. To see them, you go to animate lights and effects. That's pretty much it. And right here, I'm not going to go into detail with all this stuff, but this all right here has to do from this corner to this corner. That all has to do with optimization. And you know, when you're working with interiors, you're going to want to like, you know, split rooms to different things, so that you're not rendering a whole room and you're not rendering the whole map at once. So this is all for optimization. And then you got create a sound emitter, which is pretty much what as it suggests. You want, like, the sound, a sound effect of I don't know, don't matter, waterfall. Let's just say waterfall. So there it is. Whoops, I fucked up. I want to grab something, but okay. Sound emitters. Click on something so that whoops, that's not the thing. Ugh. Where's the menu that shows up? There it goes. Okay, so waterfall again. So there you have it. Did it add it? Sound emitter, is it there? I think I kind of forgot how to do that exactly. So whatever, we'll skip that for now. I'll remember later. And then you got your acoustic spaces. Basically, what the acoustic space does is that when you walk into this box, because it creates a box, and as you say, the box is encompassing an entire room that is like an industrial room, and then you got your acoustic space on that thing. We'll get pretty much. Oh, right. I think the marker's not enabled. But anyways, what I was saying is that let's just say you cover the entire room interior in an acoustic space that has an industrial acoustic space. So you're going to get these echoes that sound like you're inside of a big old freaking industrial complex. And same thing with a cave or whatever. You go into a small room, and then you could, like, you can mix them together. You could be like, outside of one acoustic space, and then the other acoustic space is a small acoustic space that sounds like a small room. But then when you go outside and you're out in a big cave or whatever, it's gonna have this echo, and it's gonna sound like you're in a huge area. Okay, so that covers that. Right here, creating primitives. What is this? Okay. So these things, creating primitives, are very useful. Must select one light to place this volume. What is that? That's a light box. Create an acoustic space. Okay. Creating a light box is to get a light to not bleed through walls and stuff. So it creates a primitive of a square. I think you could change it to spheres and whatever. But you got to get that box, and you have to attach it to the light that it represents, so that those lights do not bleed out of that box. So you can get a light, and let's just say, and contain it within that box. It won't shine the light beyond those bounds, beyond the bounds of the box it's in. How can you see the acoustic space boxes? Also with the markers, you know what you have to do? It's really stupid that Web Bethesda didn't even bother to fix this. You have to recompile every time that you put an acoustic space. You put an acoustic space, you're not gonna see it until you compile the map, until you compile the interior. And then when you already do that, you got to make sure that it's turned on in the markers that it's showing. And I would have to go through all this crap to find out where that was. But we'll get there. We'll get there too. We'll eventually get there. Create local maps. This can be a little bit daunting and a little bit overwhelming to get a grasp on what every little thing does. But eventually you get there. And here it is. It has to be over here where you show hide window. That's what it is. Okay, so it would be here somewhere. Markers, light markers, and all this stuff. I don't know why I can't click on it. I don't know. Did it crash? Yes. Oh, okay. It just turned everything on. There it is. So you could do portals and rooms too. That's what I was talking about. All this stuff for optimization. We don't need that right now. Besides, we're in the world space, not in interiors. Get your LOD clip volumes, all that stuff, and the markers and sound markers, etc. Helper objects. So that's pretty much it. When you make an acoustic space, you have to recompile the interior. Don't ask me why, because I didn't write the engine, but that's just the way it is. Okay, let me take that and let me hide all those markers, because that could get really annoying. Let me see what to cover next. Okay, I covered that. And the collision planes, self-explanatory. If you know what a collision plane is, a collision cube, so basically is an invisible wall. So if I wanted to add an invisible wall, like right here, it's going to add it to the shape of this of that thing right there. And one good way to make that disappear is to go on your keypad. Hopefully you can see it, and press 1, and you can make it transparent or you can make it completely disappear. And that will be helpful when you need to like find something that's either behind one thing or another. And you're going to be using it a lot, believe me. Okay, so there it is, my collision plane. It's there. You can't see it. It's an invisible wall. But one way that you can see it is to go into, once again, here, occlusion planes. What about the collision? Collision objects, there it is. So let me take off all this crap right here and I should be able to see it. There it is. So there you are. You can see your collision plane. And so whenever you go here, you're going to have an invisible ball. you're going to be trying to walk to a place that you can't get to because there's an invisible wall. And okay, other things that are important. None of that's necessary. I would rather not even bother with it. We're gonna make that okay. I believe I forgot. Alternate okay. If you press alternate 1, okay. If you press alternate 1, let me go back. This is the funny thing. My scenes on OBS are kind of conflicting with the creation kit key bindings. So sometimes I might change a scene if I press a certain button. But anyways, let's not worry about that. If you press alternate 1, you can make all the stuff that you made disappear. All the stuff that you made disappear using the 1 key, like this. Ah, come on, man. Just want to grab that. Make all the things that you want to disappear. I make those disappear. I push alternate 1, and they come right back. So that's that. And then there is, what is this? I never used these before. Current planes, current sphere. So I really don't know what that does. And Lod Clip Volume is a very, very interesting thing. I just cannot remember. I used it somewhere, but it has to do with the LOD, and you know, you want a certain area to just show a room or something like that. So you use the LOD clip plane, and it will just show that in one area instead of like everywhere or something like that. That's the way it works. You know, a little bit of experimenting, you'll know what it does. I don't remember what it does because I only used it once or twice, but it works, and it works really well if you need to do that. You could also, if you have the sky on, you could toggle the time of day right here so that you could see how everything functions. And what this is good for is if you're making custom environments and custom weather. But we are not doing that today. We're going to focus on one thing. And so let's begin. First, you got your save plugin, you got your load, and you could save the plugin and load it directly into the game. Sometimes this works, sometimes this doesn't. I can't really remember. Then you got your preferences. I use this a lot, and I'm always changing things. It's like if you got stuff snapped to grid, for example, 16, move on 16 units every time. Here it is, snap to angle. Sometimes I just use 45 because it's easier. Whatever extra, stuff like that. I'm not going to go into render window, none of that other stuff. You don't need that right now. Just going to apply that because I normally work that way. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, so that I don't lose anything, I'm going to go straight to save my plugin. So I'm going to save it. And I'm just going to call this Stream Tutorial 1. There we go. Now we can begin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place a character right here. Right here in Sanctuary. Just the guy. So let's create a new NPC. Let's go over here to the object window. So I go to Actor. And right here you got your alien races, you got your feral ghouls, you got your human race, etc., etc. So one good way to do this is, okay, let's start. I hate doing it like this. I like making copies of other people, and like I'll make like 10 copies and then make everybody just slightly different. But okay, I'm just gonna make a new character. Here we go. And what it's gonna do is gonna pop up that menu, and I'm gonna have to give it an ID. Normally, I do something like I put 00. That's the naming convention that I have for Northern Springs, so that the 00 appears before anything else. Okay, so I'm just going to call this guy Emanuel. And I'm just going to call him Emanuel. Manuel Jones. Or just, you know what, Manny. Let's call him Manny. And here we got several checkboxes that we can do. How do I explain it? Everything serves a different purpose. Like if you put him as essential, he won't die. There's also protected, and he won't be able to be killed either, but unless like certain circumstances. I can't remember what protected actually does. It's like essential, but it has different things. Is character gen face preset? That's probably for that's a preset for the beginning of the game, which is interesting because I never used that before. Okay, is ghost. If it's a ghost, if you check on this, you can't shoot at him, you can't do any of that stuff. He won't be affected by anything. Invulnerable, pretty much what it probably says, what it means. He can't be killed.
The songs by Don Williams on Amazon Music.
I'll just wait until the song's over, then we'll continue the recording. You know what? You can just watch. You can watch what I do with the Okay, I just hope that it doesn't get muted, because the Twitch is very strict about like music and all that stuff, and copyrights. But anyways, I'm just gonna continue building this, and you just watch what I do. I'm gonna start setting them up. Okay, the music's off. Hopefully, no more interruptions like that. What I'm gonna do is basically, when I start editing the video and I start putting it up to YouTube, I'll just like, I'll cut it down and we'll fix it. Okay, so here, you got your body morph regions. Hopefully you can hear me. I'm not on mute, right? I'm not on mute, right? Okay. So you could pretty much you could basically mess around with his with how his body is. Make him have big, strong legs or chicken legs or whatever. That's just pretty much self-explanatory right there. You can make him taller. You can make him smaller. You can actually and the good thing is what was it? Oh, it's one. Let's see, 0.93. Okay, I'm going back on mute because they're listening to music. Okay, the song's over, thankfully. Okay, so I created a copy of the outfit for Emanuel, and I'm looking for the clothes. So one great way to find that is just to look in the filters because I'm having trouble finding clothes here. I don't know if it's under characters. This whole hierarchy is like, it goes very deep. So we got our packages. We got miscellaneous world data. It's not going to be under world data. Might be under world. It might be under here. Container door static terminal movable static is interesting because movable static. Those are just static objects, but they have collision on them. So world objects. It's under world objects. Now I know that. So it's got all these clothes, tan. And what is this? Okay, so it's under armor. Okay, good. And right here, this is another big. How do I say it? Very deep kind of interface to mess with. And right here, you could choose where can you use this. What parameters it takes so that this what will it take? So all these things that are highlighted, if you got your tan, if you got your tan dirty clothes and all that stuff, it takes up the body first of all. It also takes up the torso, the left arm, the right arm, the left leg, and the right leg. But if I went like this, and I took all this off, I make the modifications to the original base object, to this object. But now that it takes up the body, well, if it takes up the body, go like this. Wait. It takes up the body. The underarm or the armor. You know what? I don't remember if it was U or if it was A. But what I'm trying to say is that if you take those off, you can add armor. You can put armor over the clothes. But I'm not going to deal with that. That's not what we're doing. So he has glasses and clothes mobster. That's what he has. Okay, so the clothes mobster, what is it? Pretty much it's the same thing. It's a suit. Right here's the world model, and you could change it if you wanted to. And it has all the, it actually has enchanting endurance +2. Okay, that's interesting. I did not know that. Okay, well, none of that is really important right now. I'm just looking for what does he have? What does he start up with? So you go into world. I don't think it's going to change because it's still in the hierarchy. It's somewhere around here. I don't know if it's under character. Maybe I go through each and every freaking one of them. Is it under here? There it is. It's under armor. Okay, good. So I changed this. There's mobster 1, mobster 2. You can put a mobster hat. And see, that one works. That works for him. And I'm just going to change his. He wears the postman clothes and he wears mobster hat. Okay, that's good. So here I am in this area. So I got some clothes and I put some shit on him. If I want to put some glasses, like police glasses or something, to look up glasses. Eyeglasses, fancy glasses. Let's put something stupid like this. Sunglasses. So now you wear sunglasses. There, Emanuel wears sunglasses. So let me look up Emanuel again. Because this stuff takes a long time, trust me. You're going to have a lot of time, working on your NPCs to get them the way that you want them to look. Yeah, the vault suit definitely, that's Under Armour, so you could put armor on top of that suit. Okay, so he still has the mobster. He still has that mobster look because I haven't changed it yet. So I'm just gonna go back to his inventory, and he wears the sunglasses. I'm gonna take out mobster 2, remove it, and he's gonna be nude again. How come I can't remove it? It's in this inventory, but I can't remove it for whatever reason. Oh, right. Okay. No, that's right. I screwed up. That's it. That's what I needed to do. So, there. Now, Emanuel looks like a weirdo. But Okay, so now it looks like a postman. Maybe he can give you like a post, give you something to deliver. There, he could be a delivery guy. Maybe like, oh, I need you to deliver this to someplace or something like that. You go in there, there's a bunch of raiders. Okay, so that worked out well. Now we got our guy here, and we can fuck around with his face, his inner eyebrows, whatever. You know, a good idea right now would be to go back to inventory and probably make sure that he's not wearing anything, so that I can see his ugly face. Come on, man. There we go. Okay, now this is where things can get a little more complicated because now you are dealing with dude's face. And it takes a long time, believe me. It takes a long time to get it the way that you want it to look. Don't think I wanted to do that, but you know, I don't care. His earlobes, his nose, let's make him have a big ass nose. Scale it. Big old fucking nose, big old nostrils too. Jaw. Let's fuck up his face. Make him look weird. I'm not really noticing a whole lot of difference. But there, you got all the little details that you can mess around with to make his face like however you want. I'm not really noticing that much of a difference on him. What about his eyes? Oh yeah, I know. I noticed that one. The bridge of his nose. The mouth. I want to make sure that, like, you know, it's noticeable. So all this stuff takes time.
Okay.
Nice, Quentin's distant cousin. Oh, now he looks different. Now he looks let me see. Yeah, now he looks different. I can't really put my finger on it. Maybe Arab or some shit. Let's see now. Oh, okay. Now it looks a little bit like Sebastian Stan, maybe. But the difference is like, you know, it's beginning to show now. Now with a little bit of tweaking, and it's going to show even more. Forehead, I don't know. Okay, okay. How many people? Yeah, the lighting kind of sucks right now. You got to be in game, but you'll begin to notice it, and then when I start changing his hair color and all that stuff, it will begin to show. Okay, face, the jowls. And here little details. This makes it even easier. preset. Did that work? Eyes prominent. I don't know. Just messing around with what his face looks like, and I wanted to make him so he's he's a unique character because if you put it under if you make sure that his character is unique, it makes it a lot easier for the quests and all that stuff to find him when you're making quests. Okay, so let me add Emanuel right here. So there he is in his underwear. There's Emanuel. In his underwear. Okay, so inventory. Let's see. I know it does take a long time, but you got to be patient when you're working with this crap. You make him fat too. I'm not gonna make him fat. Kind of looks like Deacon, yes, from there. But now I can give him a new hairstyle. I can give him a new hair color. Let's give him a red hair color. I don't know why. Let's just say he's Irish or something. Okay, and facial hair color. Well, red. But he doesn't have any facial hair yet. Okay, so here in his base head parts, you can add that. So right now he doesn't have any facial hair. So how do I add facial hair? I forgot. Facial complexion. You could also give him a facial complexion, but we're not going to do that. Facial hair. Here it is. Additional parts. Is this it? No. Okay. Eyebrows. Facial hair. Head part. Face paint. Damage markings. Give him mean old freaking brows. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Something's looking a little bit. It's starting to get a little bit familiar now. I forgot how to change his hairstyle. And little things like that. Face complexion. Ah. I really don't remember. Okay, but I don't remember how to change the hairstyle. Oh, there it is. It's right there. Silly me. Okay, so I'll give him a different hairstyle. Maybe the hat. Maybe putting the hat on him is going to be like it's not going to be helpful. See if I can. Facial hair then. Let's give him a beard. Big beard. Why isn't it showing up? Ah! Didn't update. Okay. See, sometimes it doesn't update like right away, so you have to click here, go into full, and then go into head again, and then it changes it. So now he has his beard. Do it again. Update it. He's got red hair. He's got an ugly ass kind of goatee going on there. Okay, there. That's much better. Okay, I can go with that. He's got big ass nostrils. Okay, so there, we created our character. And let's just say AI packages. What is he going to do? What is he going to do on average? What his normal day-to-day basis? Sandbox. So I think default sandbox would be fine. RE sandbox. These are for assault. You don't want to mess with these. All you want to do is you just want something like the default sandbox current location where he is, that will be more than enough to have him. He'll just like walk around and stuff and do his own shit. So okay, so he's unique. He's invulnerable. No, you don't want to be invulnerable. Let's just put him as essential so he doesn't die, and he'll just be knocked down. He'll get back up after a while. It doesn't affect health meter, protected. Those summonable. Oh, okay. No, none of that stuff. You don't need that. Doesn't need a script at the moment. Just default sandbox. He will just do his normal day-to-day activities, and we're not going to mess around with AI packages right now. Okay, so he's unique, essential. He's done. Right now, that's all you need. That is your NPC. That's the custom NPC right there. It's just a dude. And okay. So let me save it, Control S, or just click up here. We're going to give this guy a unique voice type. We're going to voice this guy. I'm going to sit here, talk to this stupid camera, and give him a voice. And I'll show you how to do that. Okay, well, let me shut up now, and we're going to start with his dialogue. First, gonna have to create a voice type. So let me get to that. And that would be under special effect, would it? Miscellaneous. Something should say voice type. Voice type. V. It's probably under character, voice type. There it is. Okay, so new. I click on new, give it an ID, give it a voice type. Emanuel voice type. And gender male. Okay, so there we go. Now we have a voice type for him. Save it. Now go to quest. New quest. This one is especially just for Emanuel. No, Quentin too. Okay, Emanuel quest. He's going to give you a quest. Okay. Now this is where things can get a little complicated. Run once, start game enabled. That would be good to start off with. If you don't have a start game enabled, then the quest won't be active until it's triggered by something else. And if you want it to run only once, so it doesn't repeat itself, you put it to run once. But if you want to make a quest that you can use over and over and over again, and these quests, the ones that you can use over and over again, are very good for making radiant quests or shit that just is random. Random quests that change something. It's always something different. So that looks good. I'll call this the Emanuel quest. Yeah, just Emanuel's package. Wait, no, Emanuel's errand. I don't know. Deliver Emanuel's quest name. Yeah, it's just Emanuel's errand. Okay, Emanuel quest. Always, when you're making a quest, just name it, put the stuff, and then close it, and then open it back up again. And then here, priority. This is also important, but I'm going to leave it at 0 for right now. The thing is that the higher the priority is, then this quest is going to be more important than other quests. Let's say you have like quests kind of like in a chain of different things, and one quest is 0, which is more important than a quest that say is like quest 5 or something. Even though they use the same character, they're going to use Emanuel. They're going to use the NPC Emanuel. So what's going to come first? The one that is 0, and then if this was not running, then the next one after that one. So that's what that's for. I hope that makes sense. We're not going to do that right now. We don't have to worry about that. But that's like generally how it works. Scenes, not this. Let's not do that yet. Okay, first of all, we're going to start with one. Stage. We go to quest stages, and then we're going to go to quest stage 10. And then this is the first one that's going to show up. The 0 is higher than the 10. And then you go 20. And the 20 is higher. And the 10 is higher than the 20. And then 30. And what's going to happen here is when the quest starts, You're going to be at stage 0. So how do you get to stage 10? When you complete some objective, where it could be find a key, deliver this package, or complete the quest and get your reward. And so in each and every stage, Emmanuel's going to have to tell you something different. And that's where scenes come in. So new manual quest. Manual quest is already in use. Okay, scene 1. Manual quest. Let's just put EQ1. EQ1. Okay, duplicate it. EQ2, and then new. EQ3. So, well, that's funny the way that turned out. Let me change that so it's more organized. Okay, so the first thing that's going to happen is that Emmanuel's going to say, okay, first I'm going to have to find an actor, and first it's going to be player default, new actor, player default. I'll apply that. Always save it. Make sure that it's saved. Hope you're getting all this. Priority, yes, it's like a quest order that's like, if the quest like specifically is using something, so that if if a character's free or something like that, it's going to go to the next quest. But this is like, if this quest has not been completed yet and this one's running, this is going to be the quest that shows that's going to be prioritized first. This one, it's because it's gonna when you load up the game, it's going to be like, oh, it's going to grab Emanuel this for this quest. This is the quest that's going to be taking that NPC and giving them all the dialogue to say all that stuff. So how do you do that? How exactly do you do that? Well, you go to quest aliases right here. Okay, so what are we looking for? Some people like to use, let's see, new reference alias. So now I'm starting this up. Hopefully I don't crash. Okay, so here. I'm going to do this way because this is the way it worked the best, and it's not the only way. There's multiple ways that you can do this, but the way that if you want something to work right the way that you want it to, okay, alias name, Emanuel. What was the name of the damn thing? Okay, that's it, just Emanuel. Display name. You don't need this. Display name is for something else. Okay, so unique actor, because he is a unique actor. So there he is. There he is. So when the quest starts, which is going to be at the beginning, it's going to grab Emanuel, just the specific that character, Emanuel. Okay, and right here, you could set that up so that when the quest grabs the character, you can make him essential or protected or quest object from here, all in this area with these checkboxes. Allow destroyed, allow optional all scenes, no negative. See, if you put this right here, the quest will start up even though like Emanuel was not like grabbed by the quest, because the quest is going to pull his data into the quest. But you can put optional all scenes, and even though Emanuel was not able to be grabbed by the quest will still start up. But if you uncheck this, the quest will not start at all. It will be an empty quest with no that was never filled in. Okay, so I'm just going to put that I'm just going to leave that the way it is because we want this quest to run and make sure it does run. Optional. That also refers to that. Match conditions, if you want to, just to be absolutely positively sure, even though it says unique actor, you can get the ID of the actor. The condition. These are just other small things to to make sure that it's going to be Emanuel. So if the get ID is true, it is Emanuel, yes, okay, we got the right one. That's it. And you can even add things into his inventory when the quest pulls his data in. And they might like, you know, shit, you get the quest happens. And you know what? You know what? While we're doing that, damn it. While we're doing that, why not just give him a minigun? If I can find it. You know what? None of that matters. Let's just give him an alarm clock. We can even make the alarm clock the quest item. I already fucked up. Let me change it. Armor. Alarm clock. There. Additional death item. So you could even make, you know, when he dies, he'll drop an item. Let's just say he drops any boss weapon, whatever.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so now we got all that set up. If two quests take one NPC. Yes, exactly. That is exactly correct. Until the NPC is free again, then the other quest can take that one. Okay, it can take the NPC that already had the quest. And that's why, like, you know, if you already did a quest and you can, let's just say that you completed 4 quests in the row. The next quest that's going to be in the next priority will take the NPC's data and fill his data, fill the quest in with his data. So, you know, in a sequence, because there could be like, you know, 2 or 3 quests going in different directions. You might have done something totally different than somebody else did, and that storyline or whatever, that sequence is just going to lead on to the next one that's going to be in the next priority behind that one. Okay, so now we got the quest, and now we got Emanuel, and we got all that stuff set up. We can do this. We can do this like this. Now we have everything all filled in. Quest dialog conditions. No, this is not necessary at the moment. You don't need to put any types. You don't have to do this kind of thing. None of that stuff. What you've got to worry about is your scenes. And I already added the player. And I'm going to add the new actor, and Emanuel should be just right there. So I add him as the new actor. That's going to be... Okay, add a new phase at the end. And this is the conversation that's going to happen between the player and Emanuel. That's how it works. And so let me add a couple of these. Add another phase. And add another phase. Okay. So the first thing that's going to happen is that since this is player dialogue, the first thing that's going to happen is going to be a greeting. So player default, who's going to say the damn thing first. Prevent exit. Let's see. Interruptible. Begin on quest start. Disable dialogue camera. Dialogue override. Edit actor flags. The player activation. Run scene packages only. You got to like change his packages so that he stays in place. And you know, you can also put optional. Optional is in case, like, you know, if 2 or 3 people are in the same conversation, and if you hit optional, let's say Piper decides to join in the conversation or whatever, you put her optional. It doesn't matter whether she's there or not. If she's not there, then it won't matter. It'll just skip Piper. So we don't need that. We just want Emanuel talking to the player. So the first thing that he's going to do is that he's going to give you a greeting. So let me double click on here and Emanuel Greeting. That's the first thing that I'm going to do. Emanuel Greeting. Hopefully you're following this, and hopefully I'm following this. Okay, so the first thing Emanuel's going to say is, "Hey there. Hey there. Can you help me? Can you help? Damn it. Can you help me for a second? Can you help me for a second? I need a package delivered. I need a package delivered. So here I'm going to record his voice on here. Okay, well, since right here, this is one thing. I fuck up a lot too with this. If I don't give him his voice type, it's going to go directly, it's going to put my files directly in the player voices files. So you do not want that. No. Negative. If it says player voice, just hit OK. There. Now here, there's something you can do. But I'm just going to hit OK because it's something I forgot. So I'm just going to leave it like that. Nothing's going to happen. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go back to Emanuel. And you go back to his traits, and you go to his voice type, Emanuel voice type. There it is. That's it. I don't think I have to do anything else here. Hit OK. Now I go back to the quest. And remember, this can probably go wrong. So we want to make sure that it doesn't, or we get as close as possible to having a working, functioning quest. Before we even take any steps further, make sure that it all works, because this is a process that takes time. So we can either go with A, get his ID, which will work just absolutely fine, or B, voice type. I'm going to go with voice type right now. Condition function, the subject, target, the reference. Nope. Voice type is what I'm looking for. Get is voice type. There it is. Here, and we're looking for Emanuel. Is it true? If the value is 1, it means yes. So get is voice type Emanuel voice type. Hit OK. That's all you got to do to make sure that Emanuel's voice type is the one that's going to be saying, hey there, can you help me for a second? I need a package delivered. And what's the only thing in the area that is an Emanuel? That's him. Okay, so that should work. Hey there, can you help me for a second? I need a package delivered. Okay, so Emanuel voice type. And I'm not going to do anything. But, okay, now, here's where you're going to notice this. When I go onto the response text where it says, hey there, what is it going to see? What? That doesn't show me anything. Let's try it. Let's try recording it anyways. Ah, there it is. Error starting recording operation. See warning for details. Okay, so it did create it. It created the folder for me. Hey there. Can you help me for a second? I need a package delivered. Okay, so it saved it. Let me play it. Play it back. Will it play it back to me? You know what? It might not. Let me give it another shot. Okay, you get the idea anyways. And the reason why it probably is not recording is because I'm talking into that and I'm recording onto the... It's probably being taken from my from the stream. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. At least we got it. So we know. One good way of fixing this is actually pulling out one of my microphones, connecting it to the back, and having a different spare. But I guess I could try again. Oh, no. It's gone. Error starting recording operation. See warnings for details. That's probably what happened. Probably because of my streaming stuff is happening. Okay, but it don't matter. If it works, it works. We know what we're doing. I could do that on another stream. Okay, new action. So let's see. Dialog. Face keep on target. Head track player. Face target. Okay, let me see if I can remember this. Actor Emanuel looping. So player default. Dialog action. Is this correct? No. I think I'm wrong. Player dialog. This is it. Okay. Okay. I'll think about it. Okay, I'll think about it. What's this all about? What's this all about? And, you know, the condition, of course. Okay, I'll think about what is this all about, and just put the condition here, give him a new condition, and say, get his ID.
I'm going that tight.
Okay. So get his ID player. Okay, what is this all about? So what is it gonna do? Is this that basically is going to make sure that it's the player is coming out of the player. And okay, what is this all about? Player positive response. You know what? This is not it either. All I want is for him to just say a thing. So I'm just gonna go to dialogue then. This is good enough. What is he going to say? What is he going to say? Head tracking, face Emanuel. Okay, target, head track, keep on target at end, face target, and complete looping action. Okay, so let's get new. Okay, this is the way it goes. Yes, yes. Response text. Okay. I'll think about it. What is this all about? What is this all about? Okay, voice type Emanuel. I think I fucking did that wrong again. No. I think this is correct. Let's just hope so. Okay. Takes a moment. It does. This is the thing. You have to be really patient with dealing with this stuff. And I did that for all of Northern Springs. Okay, forced alias, nothing. Okay, so this seems to be all correct for the most part. Challenge. You could give him some amused, so that he looks amused when he says that. So it's the player voice type. Okay, so everything's fine. And everything will go into the player voice. But I'm not going to do that. Okay. So this is a very, very, very small, generic kind of quest to make sure that, you know, everything. Speaker, camera, target, actor, Emanuel, player default, face target, Emanuel, name, no need. But if I want to call it something, I could just put player reply. And why would this be good? Is that you can find it, you could create like some kind of a thing where you could reuse this line in other places. Okay. So what I'm going to do here, and what we'll do, oh shit. Okay. One thing that we're going to want to do here is that he'll stop moving. So in order to do that, you got to do a new action and stay at self, I think it is called. Actor to Emanuel, editor ID, conditions. Is this correct? A stay at self action. Hold on to the next scene. Add stay at default stay at self scene. That's what you want. Okay. And I would prefer that I copy this action and put it up here too. Paste action. Default stay at self scene. And so that goes through all the phases right there so that he just stays there. Because what happens is if you don't do that, they keep moving around. It's really stupid. Okay, so he starts his greeting. I think I got all that stuff right. Default stay at self scene is in scene. And I'm going to take a break after this because I got to go to the bathroom. But okay, I hope you're getting all this. We're going to go right back into this and we're going to just load it up. Here we go. Emanuel, we got our little NPC that we created right here. So the developers didn't do that. It is seems characters just walking around. Yeah, I guess, some other people, they started finding that out. I noticed that too sometimes. Sometimes they do pause, but I don't know. It's just a thing to make sure that they don't walk around while you're still trying to talk to them. It's stupid. It's annoying. Okay. So let's get to it, and